have to look at cybersecurity as a quality of life issue, and everyone is held responsible. And this is where individual responsibility comes to surface. When I retired out of the military about 15 years ago, I was supposed to be a leadership coach. And then during the times I was studying for my master's degree program, I walked into the office and I noticed that a friend of mine was studying for his CISSP certification. I picked up the book, browsed through it a couple of times, and said, you know what? I think that I want to branch into the cybersecurity industry. And so after that, I started to study the CISSP certification, passed it. And then from there, I became one of the persons that were interested in cybersecurity. But later on, I started to do some other things such as write, start the podcast. And here I am today working in the cybersecurity industry. And it has been very rewarding. But I thank my friend for leaving that book on the desk, because if he had not left that book on the desk, I would probably been a leadership coach today. Now, there's nothing wrong about being a leadership coach, but I think that the cybersecurity industry is much more rewarding. As I have walked through the industry and met a great number of people that working from all walks of life, the number one question they always ask me, how can we become proactive? My answer is always standard and is always the same. You need to understand your security capabilities. Your security capabilities makes a determination on whether you know what's on your enterprise or whether you do not know what's on your enterprise. It can also branch into cyber visibility. Do you have visible indication of where your weaknesses are? There are some intricate programs that must work in tandem in order for leaders to understand their security capabilities. One is your asset management program. 2 is your configuration management program. 3 is your vulnerability management program. If you can take those 3 programs and have them to work in tandem, you can understand your security capabilities. But also too, adding in like your cyber tools and your cyber threat intelligence programs, those are going to help you out as well. So if you add those into your asset management and your configuration management and your vulnerability management program, you will have an accurate indication of your security capabilities. Because if you don't have an accurate indication of your security capabilities, then this is how you create those blind spots. Blind spots are those areas of your enterprise that are seeking under the radar. They only become active when the hackers find out where they are. So if you understand your security capabilities, then you can be hacker to the finish line. We often have a conversation in saying that humans are the weakest link when it comes to cybersecurity. I like to take it to the next level and state that a dysfunctional cybersecurity culture is the weakest link for cybersecurity. Think about that culture as people, but also too, looking at the way that the people operate. Look at the enterprise and seeing that you have silos. Silos are people that work into their own programs and their own ways. When we can remove those silos, then we have people that work as a group and we have people that buy into the cybersecurity culture. So when you have a functional cybersecurity culture, then you can always beat hacker to the finish line. This is one of the most strongest aspect I think that great leaders have. They are able to polish up a cybersecurity environment and build a functional cybersecurity culture. As I began to look into my past speaking events, and as I travel to future speaking events, I've always said that I want my audience to look at cybersecurity as a quality of life issue. Here's why. We live in a state now where cybersecurity is part of our lives. We cannot survive without cybersecurity and technology. So humans have to take it very seriously because it's a quality of life issue. Let's just imagine if, per se, Facebook goes offline. Imagine how people's lives change. Imagine how many of the other social media platforms go offline. Imagine if the internet was to just shut down for 24 hours. It seizes business operations. Our quality of life is just diminished. We can't go to the bank and get money now. We can't go online, but we can't use our cell phones. So I've always tell my audience is that you have to look at cybersecurity as a quality of life issue, and everyone is held responsible. And this is where individual responsibility comes to surface. Think about it. What is it that you are responsible for when it comes to cybersecurity? Because it's your quality of life. And this is what I always like to preach to my audience too, because if we was in a race and we're in lane A and hackers in lane B, the one that make it to the finish line wins. So if you want to keep your quality of life at a high level, you got to find ways to beat hackers to the finish line.